Hi, my name is AJ Schubert, and today I'm going to be demonstrating the proper way to set up and operate the Canon GL-2 video camera. Points I'll be discussing include basic functions of the camera, setting up proper audio levels, capturing and reviewing footage, utilizing a tripod with your camera, and proper dismantling and storage of your camera accessories. Let's begin by attaching a battery to the back of the camera. You'll notice an arrow on the front side of your battery. You need to make sure this arrow is pointing down. Then take the battery and slide it down the back end of the camera until you hear it click securely into place, like so. Once your battery is in place, you can power the camera on. Located on the top of the camera is a slider with 3 settings: camera, off, and play. Move the slider to the camera position. Now that our camera's turned on, let's insert a tape. To do so, you will see an eject slider on the top of your camera. Move that forward and open the camera door. You'll notice the tape compartment automatically rises and opens on its own. Now take your tape with the front side facing outward and insert it into the camera. Then gently close the tape compartment, like so. And again, the camera automatically closes the tape compartment and returns into the camera. Then gently close the camera door. You should note that the camera will not power on if it is set to the lock position. To make sure the camera is not locked, look just above the red record button on the back of the camera. You will see the options standby and lock. When using your camera, you want to set it to the standby position or the camera will not power on. Before you begin filming, you have the option of choosing whether you want to film with autofocus or manual focus. If you're filming a scene that has a lot of action or movement, it is probably best to shoot with autofocus. But if you're filming a subject that will remain relatively still, you may choose to shoot in manual focus. To set the camera to manual focus, you first of all need to draw your attention to the right-hand corner of the camera. You will see a slider with 2 icons, one being a green rectangle and the other being the letter P. You need to make sure the camera is set to the P setting in order to use manual focus. Then in the upper left-hand corner of the camera, there's a button labeled Focus A/M, A for automatic, M for manual. Click this button to choose between automatic and manual focus. To adjust the focus of the camera, turn the wheel on the front of the camera lens. This allows you to focus on objects in your foreground and background. For most purposes, it's best to leave the camera on automatic gain control. Just above the slider we use to put the camera in manual focus is the audio record level slider. You want to have this slider set to A for automatic gain control. To capture good audio, it's best to hook up a microphone to your camera. Your camera will come with an audio box already attached to it, which is this box on the bottom of your camera. On one side of the audio box, you will see 2 XLR ports. Plug your microphone into channel 1. You will then take the cable from the audio box and plug it into the red mic port on the camera. On the other side of your audio box, opposite side from the XLR channels, you will have the options of mic or line. You need to make sure that both 1 and 2 are set to mic. Also, on the front of the audio box, you need to make sure that it is set to stereo, not mono. To ensure that you're capturing good audio, you need to plug in a pair of headphones into the headphone jack, which is located just below the mic jack on your camera. Usually it's a good idea to capture some of the natural sound of the area you are filming in, such as the sound of water flowing or the slight hum of an air conditioner. To do so, simply unplug the audio box from your camera. This disconnects the audio box and turns on the mic that's built into the front of the camera. The built-in mic works well to pick up natural sound, but is not good for interviews. Remember, when the audio box is plugged into the camera, it turns off the built-in camera mic, and you are then using the handheld mic plugged into the audio box. When the audio box is not plugged into the camera, it turns on the built-in camera mic. Now that we have our audio and video settings the way we'd like, let's try capturing some footage. To record footage, again make sure your camera is set to the camera setting. You can view what you're recording in two ways, using the camera's viewfinder or using the camera's LCD screen. Your viewfinder automatically displays what your camera is seeing. To use the LCD screen, press this open button, then pull the screen out and position it to your liking. To begin recording footage, press the red record button on the back of your camera. To stop recording, simply press the record button again. To view the footage you just recorded, press the record search button with the minus symbol, which is located just above the LCD screen. The tape will back up and play the last few seconds that you just recorded, then return to the place where you paused the tape. To shoot steady shots, it's essential that you use a tripod. Before you attach the camera to the tripod, you need to make sure that the tripod is level. You'll notice on the back of the tripod is a green level, much like a carpenter's level. You need to make sure that the bubble is in the center of the circle to ensure that the tripod is level. If it's not, you can adjust the tripod legs up and down as needed. Attached to the bottom of the audio box is what's called a tripod quick release plate. This allows you to attach your camera to the tripod. To do so, align the quick release plate with the head of the tripod. You will notice a red latch on the left of the tripod head. If the red latch is on the right side, you have the tripod backwards. Press the red latch in and begin to move the camera forward. Approximately halfway through, you will hear this latch click. Once you have the camera fully on the tripod, turn the lock lever forward, which locks the camera completely in place. The tripod allows you to pan left and right and tilt up and down. To tighten or loosen the tilt of the camera, turn the tilt friction knob located at the right of the tripod. If you want to lock the camera in a particular position, you can turn the lock knob, which is located on the left side of the tripod. If you want to adjust the height of the tripod without adjusting the legs, you can pedestal the tripod up and down by loosening the knob located at the center column of the tripod. With it loose, you can now move the camera up and down, and then once you have the camera where you like it, tighten that center column knob. If you're ever in a situation where you don't have someone to film you, you can place your camera on a tripod, then turn the LCD screen around so you can see what you're filming. To eject the tape, you follow the same steps you took to insert the tape. You push the eject slider forward, then wait for the tape deck to rise and open. You then remove the tape, then gently push the tape compartment door closed. Now to detach the mic cable from the audio box, you press this release knob next to the mic input and then pull the cable out, pulling from the XLR head, not from the cable itself. Now loosely roll up the mic cable in large loops like this. And you need to roll up the mic cable like this and not winding it around your arm, because winding it around your arm can cause damage to the cable. This concludes our instructional video on the Canon GL-2 camera. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you.